In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can use the EduEditor to create lecture materials for the classroom feature. So let's get started. Let's start by creating a new project. So I'm going to click on the Start Project. Then I'm going to call this Sample 5. Then we'll start. Now we have a blank project. To create a lecture note, you go to the Lecture tab. On the Lecture tab, you start by creating a subject. Specifically, we're going to create basic science notes. So let me call this basic science. Then the next thing that follows is the topic. So let me explain how you create topic or how you structure your topic. The way you structure your topic depends on your need or your end goal. So imagine you want to create something that is like a textbook format or based on a particular syllabus. What you do is, I'm going to use physics as an example. So let's say I want to create lecture material for physics, and I want to follow maybe JAM or YX syllabus. So in this case, I'm going to define the major topic. So the major topic in this case is mechanics, right? Then under mechanics, I have topics like motion. Then I have another topic like Hooke's law or elasticity. And then I have other topics. So this mechanics is referred to as the chapter or the major topic, whereas what you have underneath they are like the subtopic or the main or the minor topics. So that's how you structure your topic. Then under every topic, you can add material. So what that means is once you've defined the subtopic or the final topic, you can now set the material under that topic. I'm going to talk more about the material shortly, but this is how you structure your topic. Then you may also have another scenario. So let's say you have another scenario. So let me say this is mathematics. And this time around, your notes is you are designing this note for your students. So let's say the note is designed for SS1 to SS3 students, right? And let's say you want them to have access to all their notes from first 10 to third 10. So in this case, your first topic might be the 10. So you can call this first 10. Then for first 10, you have all the topics under first 10. So maybe this could be something like indices and another topic like, let's say, sequence and series. Sequence and series. Now that's for the first 10. Then you can create another chapter. You can call this second 10. And you have the topics underneath second 10 as well. So this is how you can structure your topic if this is what you want to achieve. If the first topic under each subject is referring to the 10, then you can also have different format depending on how you want to structure your topic. So now let me go back to basic science. Now, in this case, I don't want to have two layers of topics. I just want to have one layer for this particular demonstration. So for this particular demonstration, I'm just going to add one layer of topic. So I'm going to call this electricity. Electricity. Then under electricity, let me have another topic known as magnetism. Then under electricity, you can now start adding material. So the question now is, what are the various materials you can add? So the first material you can add is known as text material. When you have a text material, what that means is, so let me call this material introduction so that you see what I'm talking about right away. When you add a text material, what that implies is the material is just a plain text and you are better to type the material as a text. So the text is in line with the text you provide under the objective section. So the way you type your text, the way you import images and the likes, you can do the same thing here. Okay, so that's the first material the first type of material you can add. Then another type is file. The file material it, expects that you import a file, and you can import different files. You can import images, you can import audio files, video files, HTML, CSV, Excel, PDF, and zip file. So the way you should think about it is almost any file can be added within a lecture material. If you want to add PDF file, you just browse towards the material. So in this case, I want to add PDF file, and the material I want to add is this. Once you pick the material you want to add, you give this, let's say, notes. Let me call this note one. So this note one, I can just click add. So under electricity, this is the first note, which happens to be a PDF file. Then you're going to see the file extension, the size, which is for 47 kilobyte, the number of pages. All of that will be provided right here. And you can even look at see the PDF. You can zoom in and out, and you can even save and print the PDF file. Okay. Then which other kind of material can we add? We can also add video material. So let me demonstrate that. So let's say you have a video material that you want to accompany this note. Then you can just click on File Material. Then you'll be asked to browse for the file. Here I'm going to pick some random video. And this time I want to pick this particular video. And I'm going to name this Note 2. Or let me call this Video Notes. Then I'm going to click Add. So now I have my video notes. Once you have a video notes, you'll see the size, you'll see the duration, and you can play it right here. So now let me now talk about the AI tutor. So this is a very interesting thing. So you can play the video right here and see exactly what it looks like once you play. Then what other material can we add? You can add zip file. So zip files are necessary if the kind of material you have is neither an image or nor PDF nor HTML. But if you have some files like, let's say, a code, so let's say you are providing a lecture note for the sake of programming, you can create the notes for you can bundle files like maybe Python code and the likes into a zip file and add it to your lecture material. You can import anything as long as you can provide them as zip files. So if it's neither a video nor audio nor HTML nor spreadsheet, then just put whatever you have inside a zip file, then add it into this. Okay, so that's how you import material. Then the other thing we can do is, okay, let me add one more material just to show you how this one looks like. So I'm going to add an image material. Then I'm going to call this diagram. So let me just call this diagram. So let's say you have a map, a very large image what have you. You can accompany your notes with that, and your students will be able to see all of those materials right under the topic, which is electricity. Okay, so what else can we what are the other information here? Every note has a room for description, so you can provide a description of this note. It's an optional field, but you can provide a description. You can say this notes talks about electricity, right? So you can just give a brief description of what the note is about, and you can leave it blank. Then you can specify tags like keywords that you should expect to see in the notes. But by default, the app extracts a lot of keywords from the notes. But in case you don't want that, you can delete and provide your own keyword. Then you can also provide the virtual tutorial. This feature is designed for the computer-based testing and learning app. But if you're using it for test center, it may not be relevant. So this virtual tutor rule enables you to specify the behavior of the AI tutor when the user is studying this note. So let's say you want to tell the AI tutor that this note has this information, and when the user is asking you a question, this is what you should know about it. Then you can also tell the AI tutor the age range of the learner. You can say, hey, this learner is between age 7 and 12, so the response should be tailored to such age group. So this virtual tutor is just designed to enable you control the behavior of the AI tutor by providing more context. So that's how you set your notes. Then another interesting feature is the class. You can define the class of every material. So you can say, okay, this material is for GSS1. So the first thing you do is to add classes. So let's say all the classes are GS1, I mean GSS1, GSS2, and GSS3. So the first one is to add a class. Then the next thing is to assign. So what assignment means is you want to define which class this person belongs to. So in this case, I mean, say, okay, this person belongs to, let's say, this note rather belongs to GSS2, and that will be assigned to that class. So the goal of this assignment is to enable the user to filter your lecture notes by class. So this is very useful in the case where you have all classes bundled into a project. Then the learner can filter out uh, any class of their choice. Okay, now let's talk about the completion bar. So the completion uh, tab, or let's say panel, helps you know what has been completed and what has not been completed. You can define your checklist. So the checklist tells you what are the things that you want to ensure you feel. So are you saying your description should not be empty? And do you also want to fill your tutorial? If you define all of this, the completion checklist will verify if you've done all of that. And if you haven't done that, the color will be yellowish. But in this case, green means you are done filling all necessary information. Okay, let's go to another topic. So for magnetism, I'm going to add a file material. And this time around, let me pick this material under basic science. I'm going to pick magnetism, and I'm going to call this notes 1. Okay, so this is the notes under magnetism, right? So that was it. So I've talked about how you can add file material. So what about test? The lecture, this feature under this lecture tab allows you to also set exercises. So aside just allowing the user to go through lecture materials, you can set exercises or define exercises for all the topics. So how do you create an exercise or a test under each topic? The first thing is to set the test under your objective or your theory tab. So in this case, I'm going to create this exercise. So this is basic science. Then I'm going to name my season after the topic. It's not a must do that. You can name it anything. But in order for me to track it, I'm just going to name it electricity. Then under electricity, then I'm free to set my questions. So let's say I want to set 5 questions. Now I can set my question, or I can use the AI tutor to create the question from my notes. So let me demonstrate how you can create your question using the AI feature to do that. So I'm going to click on the AI question generator. Then I'm going to name the topic electricity. So this is electricity, and I have 5 questions and my notes. I'm going to feed it my notes, which is electricity. Then you click proceed, and let's see. So in this case, I'm not logged in. That's the reason why I'm getting this message. So you will need to log in order to use the AI feature. So let me log in and proceed. Now that I've logged in, let me repeat the process. I'm going to go to AI question generator. I'm going to provide a topic, which is electricity, and then I will import my notes, which happens to be this, and generate. So now I want to generate 5 questions under electricity. Now that the questions have been generated, so here they are, the 5 questions by the AI. So this is a very interesting feature because instead of you manually creating your question, you can just fill in your notes and you have all the questions set for you. Now I'm going to go to lecture, then I'm going to create my exercise. So under electricity, to create an exercise, you define whether you want to create an objective exercise or theory. Objective means the question will be pulled from the objective tab. Theory means from the theory tab. So I'm going to pick objective and I'm going to call this, let's say, assignment. Maybe this is assessment, or let me call assessment one. So this assessment one, this the next thing is which subject are you picking this exercise from? I'm picking it from this science. So it's going to show you a list of all the subjects you've created under objective. If you have not created any subject, anything under objective, you won't see anything here. If I to tell you that you should fill or provide the content. Then the next thing is to bring the season under that subject, and electricity is one of them. Then you click on add. Once you click on add, that's all. You are done. That is, you've set your assignment. The question is present here. All you are doing here is just to reference that. You are referencing that content. Okay, so the next thing is to define the settings your of your assessment. So number of question by default, number of question is all. All means all the questions in that season, in that electricity season, which happens to be 5. Then the second setting is the mode. So we have practice mode, mock mode, pass mode, and study mode. So the mode determines how the learner will see the question. If you choose practice mode, what that means is once the learner submits after taking the test or assessment, they instantly get to see their result and they also see correction and likes. If you choose mock mode, what you are saying is the learner will see their result. They will see that, oh, I got 10 out of 100 or 10 out of whatever, but they will see correction. And that's necessary if you don't want them to see the answer to each question, maybe for whatever reason. Then pass mode is similar to mock, but the difference here is pass mode can show correction if the learner scores above or if the learner scores above or equal to the pass mark. So if you set the pass mark to be 50%, what you're saying is if the learner scores 50%, the learner gets to see correction and gets to know questions that he or she missed or got correctly. But if the learner gets anything less than the pass mark, no correction will be shown, and the learner will not be able to tell which question he got correctly or not. So pass mode is very interesting if you want to force the learner to attempt the problem multiple times until they cross the pass mark. Then your obtainable mark could be anything. You choose 5, 10, 20, 100. Then the duration of the test, you can also decide that as well. Then we have another mode known as the study mode. Study mode implies that there will not be any timer. The learner will just see the question, attempt the question, and review the answer. So study mode, there is no constraint on time. There is no submission because the learner will just see a question, review, decide to see the answer instantly without submitting. Okay, let's go back to pass mode. Then we have another setting here, which is you want the learner to be able to take the test multiple times. If you disable this, the learner will not be allowed to take the test multiple times. Once they attempted once, the app will prevent them from taking the test again. Then if you shuffle question, then it means every time the person takes the test, the question will shuffle. The same applies to option. Then enable virtual tutor. Do you want virtual tutor to be present during the time they will be taking the test? This setting is only useful in any of our apps where the AI tutor is present. Okay, then you have the choice to define the description and the virtual tutorial. Okay, so that's how you go about setting lecture notes. Okay, which other thing do we have here? We have the theory test. Theory test is very similar to objective. The difference is just that you will pull your question from the theory tab. Then you can rename your notes to anything. You can delete, you can move it up or down, and you can also sort in ascending or descending order. Then you can also apply same obtainable mark to every assessment or test under a particular topic. Okay, so that's how we go about defining your lecture materials within the Edu editor.